Hey Dogs of Tucson families, I am Frankie. I am the founder, if you don't know me. Many of you have seen me at the park and on social media, so I'm sure a lot of you guys already kind of recognize me, but in case you don't know, my name's Frankie. I wanted to touch base on a couple topics today. I've been hearing a lot lately about how people are bringing their dogs to Dogs of Tucson to tire them out. And I just want to share with you that an hour of continuous play at high intensity with like a pack of dogs is too much for most dogs. So let me explain this a little bit. Because I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, my dog's, really active and my dog does this and my dog does that. Well, here's the thing. Well, a normal dog requires like 30 to 90 minutes of daily activity. Prolonged sessions lead to overexcitement, exhaustion, and sometimes injury. The ideal breakdown, and this is like from reading a bunch of articles and stories, and I'll drop some in the comments below so you guys can even do your own research, but ideal breakdown: high intensity play, fetch, running, tug of war, like high intensity, limited to 15 to 20 minutes to prevent that over arousal. Now, social play, dog parks, play dates, Dogs of Tucson, right? Keep continuous play to under an hour. Many professional daycares mandate scheduled rest periods. We don't really do that at Dogs of Tucson because what we notice is our pack will generally do their own rest. All the dogs will kind of lay down together as a pack, and they do kind of switch off and they go from active play to rest cycles on their own without us having to mandate a rest period. So what we want to make sure that our members that come in with their dogs can understand, as well as the ones that are at daycare, is that your dog is not going for the full 8 hours that is there, or the full however long that you come in. Your dog should, with the pack, rest, play, and kind of cycle through those activities. And that's really what we want to see. We want to see well-regulated dogs. Total activity, I would say for a dog, you want to aim at probably about 2 hours daily, split between multiple short sessions. And then do some mental enrichment. I know a lot of people tell me, oh, puzzles and games and training just doesn't, like their brain's too active for that. All dogs need to learn to settle. All dogs can learn to be calm in situations. So working with them, teaching them that when they have a leash on or they have a specific collar on, that they are working and they're learning new things, you're doing activities with them, you're having fun with them in a different way because you're stimulating their brain, not just their body, is also something that all dogs need. So a couple signs of overtiredness, and we see this often at Dogs of Tucson because we have members that come in and, you want to get the most for your dog. You want them super tired because you traveled a long way to come visit us. Well, that's not always the best thing, because what we see when that happens is dogs that are pushed past their limits. And there's red flags that happen. So red flags are signs of overtiredness. You see a lot of zoomies. And that's hyper running, craziness, crashing into things. They desperately need to settle, but they don't know how. This is why our rules say zoomies need to be managed and watched carefully, because zoomies can lead to exertion. It can lead to other problems that can come from it, over arousement, excitement, injury. Zoomies are fabulous to watch when they are safe, So a lot of people see our rules and they look at the zoomies need to be managed part of the rules, and they start making fun of that. And it's like, well, it's because zoomies can be unsafe. Also, zoomies can be unsafe when you have dogs of different sizes, or dogs that aren't participating. If you have some dogs at rest and some dogs zooming, they can get trampled pretty easily. So zoomies need to be managed and watched carefully. Excess panting, heavy, frantic panting or drooling are things that we look for, right? This is signs that a dog needs a break. These are signs that a dog might be getting into like a flight or flight or fright, fight, if I can get the F words out, fight or flight mentality, where they are, they need a break. A lot of our dogs that come in for daycare, we have some really sweet boys. They are just around 1 year old right now. When they are tired, they will go stand by a kennel. They know that in that kennel, other dogs can't pester them and that they will get a break. So it's super sweet when we see the dogs asking for these breaks, letting us know that they're ready to take a little bit of a nap, that they want that. It makes us super happy. Lack of listening. So dogs that are just ignoring commands that they know, right? Dogs that are overly mouthy or becoming reactive to other pups. So this one is extremely concerning, because when a dog is to that level of they can't listen anymore, this is where we as the team need to step in more. It becomes unsafe for their playmates because there is too much mouthing going on. That elevated level brings on more of the potential for fights to happen, fights to break out. So when a dog gets that level, when they're just completely ignoring the commands. Now, I don't mean when they just ignore mom. I mean when they ignore the team too. Because sometimes dogs will ignore their parents. They don't have the manners that like the others have. So sometimes we do have dogs that we need to manage. I'm going to pause this for just 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I have a puppy in my household, if you don't know. And he was just attempting to potentially try my tomato plant. So I just wanted to get him off that. Anyway, lack of listening, ignoring the commands, getting too mouthy, becoming reactive to other dogs. These are all signs that your dog has been at Dogs of Tucson too long. There's some dogs that they are new to social play, right? So when you're newer to social play and you're newer to the pack experience, anxiety kicks in. We'll see like whale eyes. So this is another one, widened eyes where the whites are showing and they're visible. This is signaling stress. And it's another way that the dog's telling us like, hey, I need a break. I need to it might be, hey, I just need to walk around the building for a minute, like take me out to the potty porch, give me an extended potty break. See if I can settle when I come back in. Something like that can also be what happens. But we have a lot of people, they think because our park is open and members have no time limits, that they need to push that to like the 2-hour mark when they're visiting, or they need to push it to like, oh, I drove all this long way to get here. And my dog has all this energy, like he should be playing nonstop for like 2 to 3 hours. No, that's not the case, guys. Like your dog, as well as every other dog, really should be taking breaks. Your dog should be able to regulate with the pack. All dogs lay down. Your dog should be one of them. All dogs play. Your dog should be one of them, right? So go back and forth between them. We have some pups that, they do want to continue playing. I posted a sweet video a couple days ago. My dog was completely laying out on the floor at Dogs of Tucson. And the dog I referred to as her boyfriend came over and just really wanted to play with her. So he was kind of giving her some, little nudges and kind of, asking really sweetly. And, a lot of people would say, oh, he was pestering her and you shouldn't have let that happen. Honestly, though, knowing her personality, knowing how much she likes this other dog, it was the sweetest thing in the world. And she got up and, came walking right over to me because she saw me filming. And then, she did play with him for a little bit, but it was a super sweet interaction where you can see that when a dog wants to play, when the dog's ready to be done with rest, they're going to ask their friends to get up with them. So what I would say is we have a lot of not members yet that come into the park that will say things like, well, what if we get here and no one wants to play with my dog? Give it time. If your dog's there for 5-10 minutes before the pack decides to get up and play, that's great, because your dog can explore on their own. They can sniff things. They can actually lay down with the pack and truly become part of it. Active play does not have to be constant. And it shouldn't be constant. It should be well regulated. And a lot of the more mature players that come to see us, and I don't mean in age, I mean in being able to function with the pack. A lot of experienced players, a lot of ones that have been part of the pack for a while, they know that there is rest and calm cycles that need to be happening throughout the day, and they will do that. They will self-regulate, and that is a beautiful thing. So questions, concerns, whatever, give me a call. See you at the park.